Welcome back to Midday. We're down at the Campbell's Art Gallery this afternoon with curator Chero Neville. It's great to see you again.
You too.
Yes, we are taking a look at an exhibit that opened in October. It's called A Terrible Beauty. Tell us what it's about,
yes.
Please.
The full title is A Terrible Beauty, Edward Burtynsky in Dialogue with Emily Carr. It's on tour from a Vancouver Art Gallery once again. We're very lucky to have their permanent collection housed here, and so it really is a dialogue between two artists over working over 50 years apart.
How are Emily Carr and Edward Burtynsky similar in their artistry?
They both look at nature that has been influenced by industry in some way. Edward Burtynsky is really well known for his photographs. Also, he's made quite significant films, manufactured landscapes, and Watermark, which we're showing at the Paramount Theatre on November 24th. And so he has really captured the current state of the environment. This exhibition actually covers 30 years of his major bodies of works from the 1980s until now. So it incorporates 4 different themes: inhabited, extracted, manufactured, and abandoned. So you can imagine from the 1980s when he was taking photographs of early settlements in BC, a lot of shots from around here, till now when he's working with increased technology and flying in helicopters and capturing shots from above of the Gulf of Mexico oil spill, that kind of footage. It's quite incredible to see where we've come.
Absolutely. Emily Carr, well known for West Coast style artistry. Yeah. Was Edward Burtynsky's done more in the interior of BC, or where are his pictures?
His photographs are actually taken all over the world. He's quite the traveler.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Emily Carr's work is interesting because what she's capturing is primarily these are paintings from the 1930s, and so they show really the early beginnings of resource extraction in BC. So she is known for her paintings of First Nations villages in coastal BC, and so she was really in touch with nature and spent a lot of time on the coast and started to see the effects in the landscape of the major extraction of the forests. They're quite spiritual. She was spending time and knew Group of 7 artist Lauren Harris really well, and so they would talk about these ideas of nature in relation to the spiritual, and so you really see that in these paintings. They're beautiful.
There's 2 separate rooms going on here, one for Edward Burtynsky and the other one for Emily Carr. Is there sort of a start and a finish area? Are you supposed to start in this room and walk into the other?
You know, for the Vancouver Art Gallery's exhibition, this is on tour from their collection, and they separated them so that it was Edward Burtynsky and then Emily Carr at the end in the scorned section. And I thought for this exhibition it made sense because it's about them being in dialogue to have Emily Carr in the center. So you kind of go through different histories and you go through 2 different approaches to the landscape.
Fantastic. All right. Anything else you want to add about this exhibit?
We also have blackboards on our walls, and they offer up a couple provocative questions about how you would protect your environment or how you use the environment. So I think this show will really connect with a lot of people in Kamloops. We have some pretty pressing environmental issues at the moment here, and so it's a great place to reflect on those things.
One other exhibit that's running right now at the same time as this one is called Shunt, and it's in the North Corridor. Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, this is actually a project that we commissioned. It's a video work of Con Lee. He's an artist from Vancouver, and he has been fascinated with the trains that run through this area. So it's a 7-channel video installation, which is technically quite complex. He brought up a crew from Vancouver, and we had a local crew of 7 cameramen and women, and they shot the trains just off the Yellowhead Highway. And what he was really trying to capture is shunting. So do you know what that is? I had to learn about it myself, and it's something that we hear all the time here. It's when trains are basically reconnecting in order to go on their route across North America. So it's all the connecting and reorganizing of the trains, and it's quite loud. So it's something that we hear all the time, but we don't necessarily see. And so he's captured this with 7 video cameras and put it together in this installation.
It's something to see for sure, because the picture extends across the wall super far horizontally, and it really gives you a good feel for what he's trying to show.
Yeah, it looks like the trains are going across the gallery.
It does.
Yeah, it's a familiar landscape for us, but it's also startling because you really hear the shunting sound.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Fantastic. Anything else you'd like to add about that exhibit?
It ties in really well with the Edward Bertinsky and Emily Carr exhibition on right now, because they're both different ways of looking at the landscape. So this is, Conley is a much younger artist, and so it's interesting to see these different approaches over the course of 50 or so years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chiro, thank you for having us today.
Thank you.
If you would like to come down and see Shunt and Terrible Beauty, they're both running at the same time down here, effective now until the end of the year, December 31st. So absolutely come down and check it out. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us.
Now and then I think of when we were together, like when you said you felt so happy.